bubble reward for retrieved foul balls. If a ball goes out of play and you are 12 or younger, bring that ball up here. We will give you some double bubble gum. If you're older than 13, you should just bring it back. That's what you should just do. In the event there is a batted ball or bat out of play, please be aware for your own safety. Today's game brings us the Kansas Rattlers versus the Colorado Jackrabbits. Jackrabbits tied their game last night. This is the first game for the Kansas Rattlers. Let's have a good game and play ball.
It's good.
That's rude to say.
I'm sure.
He
I'm
said
sure.
Good morning, Jackrabbits fans. Thanks for tuning in for the Jackrabbits versus Kansas Rattlers. The game will begin in just a few moments.
I promise you can vouch for me. Yeah, I put it away. Oh, right in that pocket then. Very good throw. Come on, guys. Chris.
I was thinking of you this week. I was like, aren't you glad?
Good morning, Jackrabbits fans. We have the Jackrabbits winning the coin toss. They will be home. They have taken the field. On the mound, we have Chris. His battery mate will be Isai, of course. Down at first, we've got Joe. At second, we've got Ricardo. Jorge at short. Gianni at third. In right, we've got Emilio. And in left, we have Mason. And in center, we have Jack.
Really?
And the boys break. And we'll have our first batter up for the Kansas Rattlers. The Kansas Rattlers, hearkening from Liberal, Kansas, down the southwest corner. This is their first game of the season. However, I will say that these boys look big, and their warm-up, if their warm-ups are anything to go by, they are ready to play ball. First pitch from Chris. Hits the batter right in the middle of the numbers. You hate to see that. So the runner will take first. And we're going to take a little time out, just make sure he has a chance to rub that out and make that bruise go away. Coach is having a quick chat with him. And we're back ready. Jackrabbits coming off a 3-3 tie with the hometown A's last night. A real offensive deficit for our normally big hitting Jackrabbits with only 3 solid hits. I think they ended up with 5, but a couple of them were little bloops and misplays. And with the first pitch out of the way, putting a runner on first already, we'll have the first pitch to number 32. Chris throwing primarily a fastball and a slider. He has a bit of a curve, and he also throws a splitter that actually acts more like a changeup. Runner's going, and he's going to be safe at second. We are down a field ump today. Our field ump, unfortunately, has a flat tire, and about an hour away, so we will not see him at all. And the ump behind the home plate, a lot of courage to go solo so we can keep these games going. There's ultimately 7 games today, and so they can't. What? Oh.
Great spot.
I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now. And a runner at second. And the next pitch is going to go in behind Chris. Good stop by Isai. Again, we kind of talked about this yesterday, but a very big backstop here. That ball gets back. It's an easy 90 feet for the runner. It could be more. Also, they have the kind of the nylon netting here, so you can see that in your shot there. Trying to move around that, but going to be tough. Swing and a miss. We do drop him, and we tag him. Good heads-up play by Isai to complete the strikeout. So 1 down now. A strikeout for Chris, and the runner still at second. And I remembered to write down the number 15 was the leadoff hitter, so we'll see him when he goes around. I'll know we flipped the order over. Yeah, 61 on the outside corner for a strike. I believe this is the same home plate ump as we had yesterday's. Similar setup over the inside shoulder of Isai, similar mannerisms in calling strikes. Swing and a miss in the dirt. I'm going to play at third. Isai is unable to come up with it on the ball that skipped away. And so the runner will take third. So what did we talk about yesterday? Statistically, when the first batter gets on, high likelihood they'll come around and score. And with that runner only 90 feet away and only 1 down, Jackrabbits are going to have to get a strikeout here. They do not. That ball is hit into left field and gets in front of Mason. And that'll be an RBI single for the Rattler. Number 12 will step in now. There's a little bit of walk-up music. I guess we're doing that. Hopefully that doesn't pick up too much on the microphone. Otherwise, we'll get banned from YouTube. And Chris fakes over with the runner, no throw, and the runner gets back. Runner with a decent sized lead over at first. They got him. Yes! Nice. He was breaking towards second. Chris caught him leaning, and that single is erased for the second out of the inning. Big move by Chris to pick off the runner there. So with a 0-0 count and the base is cleared, now number 12 steps in. Rattlers having plated 1. And we had a game time start temperature of 56, although it's going to raise to 90 today. And a ground ball to Jorge at short. He picks it up and he throws it to first. Another sliding into first. I'm not sure why folks are doing that. It actually physically slows you down and is dangerous. But with that, we get the out, and the Jackrabbits come off the field, but not before the Rattlers do some damage with a 1 run across in their first inning of organized play this season. So bravo to them. Jackrabbits will be up. We will have Ricardo Teddy Gianni batting our first 3 here. So switching up the lineup a little bit in search of some offense. Jackrabbits play only this game today. After that, we have the entire day off. So around 11 o'clock, we'll wrap up here and go back, probably go out to lunch or go back to the hotel. And then we have to keep the boys from annoying other hotel patrons, their parents, and each other until bedtime tonight. So make sure you drop your ideas on how to do that in the comments. There is a pool. I imagine there will be plenty of pool time, but it may not be enough, and we don't want the boys too exhausted for tomorrow. Tomorrow, we will not know. There are 8 teams in this tournament. We will not know our seeding or our times until well past 8 p.m. Central Time tonight. So for those of you grandparents trying to figure out what your Sunday looks like, we could play as early as 9 or as late as 1:30. So I don't know what to tell you about when we will play. Just text or call your favorite Jackrabbits grown-up around 8 or 8:30 Central Time, and we'll know more. I'm again up here in the booth, and I'm going to try to give you guys a tour around because I'm so excited about it. But we'll do that maybe next half inning because ball's in coming down. And Ricardo will step in. Ricardo leads the team in batting average. He bats .545. And he'll see the first pitch of his at bat here. And a 60-mile-an-hour pitch on the outside corner. With a .545 batting average, he also has an on-base percentage of .674, 18 hits, including 13 singles. And he's going to pop that ball up to the right side. And if it's playable, the first baseman should have it. And he does, right there in front of the camera. Good play by the catcher. So 2 pitches, 1 down for number 11 on the bump. Teddy will step in, and Gianni will get in the on-deck circle.
Line drive, Teddy, let's go.
Come on. These hips don't lie. Teddy, all arm swings yesterday, didn't do much with it. Let's see if he drives the ball here. 49 curveball, had Teddy bailing out. He didn't pick that one up at all off the hands of the pitcher. Next pitch. Teddy fouls it, and it hits the catcher right in a spot that doesn't feel good. And Teddy goes down and talks to the third base coach just to give the catcher time to regain his composure. Having a quick conversation. He does nod to both coach and to ump that he's ready to go. Teddy's going to step back in, and number 11 will retake the rubber. And Teddy strikes out on swinging. Teddy was batting .450 on the season, so apparently we packed everything but offense for our trip over here. Gianni steps in now. Gianni batting .448 on the season, 13 hits, including 4 home runs. Yesterday, he reached base, I believe, just on his hit by pitch, which he leads the team on 7 on the season. So he's been in the batter's box 46 times, and he's been hit by pitch 7 times. And that ball's outside for ball 2. Next pitch. A little shot over to the pitcher. He's going to pick it up, throw it to first base. And the Jackrabbits go out of the first inning with a whimper, looking not at all that impressive. So we go to the top of the second. It will be the Rattlers 1, Jackrabbits 0. Jackrabbits sort of meandering out to the field. Not a lot of energy out there. Still lacking the energy. Strong breeze blowing from left to right. You can see it whipping the boys' uniforms at times. And again, Chris will be on the mound with Isai behind the plate, Joe at first, Ricardo, Jorge, and Gianni rounding out the infield. In the outfield, we've got Jack, Emilio, and Mason. So it looks like no defensive changes whatsoever as we go into the second here. Jackrabbits throw down. And we'll have our first Rattler of the inning joining us. Number 11 will step in. He is the pitcher, so pitcher versus pitcher here. And it'll be up to Chris to get the out.
This would be a skip for me, but I heard Krabby Patty. Yes, yeah, okay.
And next pitch is nowhere near the zone, 59. And as Tony said last week, he hit the bull. Bull Durham reference for all y'all out there. Hoping for a better pitch here from Chris. Comes from the windup. And it's the exact same pitch. At this point, Chris being quite a ways off. Unsure what's going on. Next pitch. 59 high, so we have 3-0 count now. Let's see if the Rattlers, well, there's not even a competitive pitch, and that batter's going to go to first, but the ball's going to go all the way to the backstop, so let's keep an eye on first, see if number 11 decides to go anywhere. He just trots down, throws his armor to his first base coach, and with that, first batter is on. What do we know, folks? That is not a good place to be if you want to win a ball game.
Good.
Some claps from the dugouts. And there we go. 60 miles an hour, right down the middle for strike one. It's number 11 with a decent lead at first, but nothing threatening. He doesn't go. That ball is high. 21 now is a 1-1 count. So this is a USSSA sanctioned tournament, but it is a 3-day tournament because we started yesterday, which means the pitchers get a total of 8 innings. However, strike 62 right at the letters. However, there's some rules on how and when you can pitch. So if you pitch 3 innings in one day, you can pitch the next day, no rest required. If you pitch 4 innings, like Teddy did yesterday, he will have to rest. So today is going to be a Teddy rest day, but Jack would be eligible. Oh, 21 didn't know what to do with that pitch. It was right on the inside part of the plate, but a ball, 2-2. And if you were to go 5 innings, you have to take 2 days rest. So that's part of the reason why Teddy came out yesterday. Didn't want to have to rest him for the rest of the tournament. So swing, and a 56-mile-an-hour slider for strike 3. So big out there for Chris. Slider working. So again, 8 innings total over 3 days, but no more really than 3 a day at this point because you have to rest the next day. So we'd expect to see Chris go no more than 3. And he's gone 1 1/3 at this point, giving up 1 earned run. The altitude here at Dodge City is about 2,500 feet above sea level. Foul ball straight back. So it's roughly half of your mile-high city altitude. What that should mean is that the ball doesn't fly nearly as far. We haven't really seen the Jackrabbits put that into practice yet, but in theory the ball shouldn't fly as far. However, the breaking balls from the pitcher should break better. And so that's going to help Chris out a lot, really. It's his slider that's his main pitch. His fastball is the pitch that he goes to help offset the slider. That ball was high. Hey, oh, must be low. Isai disagreed. Kind of was a little shocked by that. So we got 2 balls and 2 strikes now with 1 down. Let's see if number 1 dances out of the way for ball 3. That would have been a 61 mile an hour tag to the leg, so I'm glad he did. And with a full count now, Chris really has to come to the batter. And he does, and he fouls out 1 straight back. Any child that wants to go get that will get themselves a double bubble reward up here in the broadcast booth. Now Chris is going to need to do that again, and this time instead, hopefully fool number 1. And number 1 does a great job of fouling that one back off. So Chris at 25 pitches now. We'll have to bring the payoff pitch here again. Swing and a miss, a 58 mile an hour slider. So Chris's location's been has struggled a little bit, but not on those last pitches that he had to make. Threw some fastballs over the plate, fouled back, then threw a slider. Number 1 was ahead of it. So swing and a miss for strike 3 and the second out of the inning. That ball gets away. Isai stumbles to go after it, and the runner will get into second easily. Again, big backstop here. No play whatsoever. Not sure if that got Isai crossed up or there's just enough spin on that it spun out of the web of his glove. Regardless, runner in scoring position now for the Rattlers with 2 outs. And number 0 or 10 is up. Nope, just straight up 0. That was a ball high. So 2 balls, no strikes, and 2 down. Chris needs to stay focused on his play here. There's a strike, 57. So that's that slider again, I think. And I know we're extremely backlit now. I can see on the video there's not much I can do about that, unfortunately. I'd have to change the camera position completely. Swing and a miss, a 62 mile an hour fastball. So that slider sets up the fastball nicely. If Chris can do it right, the arm angle is the same and he releases the ball at the same place. It's hard for the batter to know what's coming. And some shenanigans out at second. Isai gets down, knocks the ball down, and we go to full count again. So Chris taking it to full with number 0 here. And the ball's fouled straight back. I think that might have been an attempt at a curve. It came in quite a bit slower. I'm not sure it broke, but regardless, 0 fouls that off. So driving up pitches, Chris's pitch count here again, with 33 pitches on the morning. Again, but probably will only go 3 innings, so not that. There's a little shot right to Chris, and he grabs it for the 3rd out of the inning. So heads up play by the pitcher. No harm, no foul on the leadoff batter getting on. Jackrabbits still down 1-0, which feels like climbing Mount Everest right now with the way that the team is swinging a bat. So let's see if maybe it's instead some much smaller mountain that I can't think of right now that we can climb here in the bottom of the 2nd. Jackrabbits 0, Rattlers 1. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to mute it here just because I don't want that music to set the YouTube censors off. And Jorge will step in for the Jackrabbits. First pitch from number 11. And we get a foul ball way off to the right side. 59-mile-an-hour pitch there. And as you saw on the screen before you, after Jorge, we'll have Isai and Mason. Aaron, Jack, and Jabril need to have helmets on, be ready to play. Ooh, Jorge's going to take that one right in the ribs. Oh, sorry. Shoot. Now you see Jorge up there. So, not the way we want to earn base runners, but we'll take it. You can't score if you can't get on. Looking there at Jorge, that is his just second hit by pitch on the season. Isai now steps in. Isai swinging a good bat, and he's going to hit that ball out to center field. And he caught it for the first out of the inning, so it didn't even get a chance to give you the fact that Isai is batting .385 on the season, but really the only one putting good wood on it right now. Mason steps in. Mason's been all over the lineup here trying to find a spot for him. Prototypical leadoff hitter. Batting here down in the sixth spot in the lineup. Batting .394 on the season, but his on-base percentage is over .600. And Jorge will be in safely as the ball skips away from the catcher there. Wow, my second base camera just turned super slanted. We'll go get that fixed in a second, folks. With the runner at second and a decent sized lead, a little popcorn out there by the middle infielders. Mason with the open stance. Swings and misses a 59. It was a half swing. It was a dainty swing, if you will. It's a I might hit the ball if I want to hit the ball swing. Nothing looked very aggressive about that swing at all. With a 1-1 count now and one down. Big hole on the right side for Mason. And he's going to take that ball 59 miles an hour outside. Sun starting to rise above the horizon here. It was pretty brutal there in the first inning for the first baseman. He's looking right in the sun. And there's a shot through the left side. And that's our first run. Oh, we're going to play at the plate. And Jorge's in. And Mason's going to take second on the throw. So a little dangerous there. We did have the bat in the way, but Jorge slid around it for the tying run for the Jackrabbits. So Jorge making the pitcher pay for hitting him by coming in and scoring. So an earned run for the Jackrabbits this morning. Aaron steps in. I'll put Jack in the on-deck circle. Mason out at second. Arms out like he's got dance moves. Aaron swings and misses at a 57-mile-an-hour pitch on the inside corner.
Watch that ball hit the bat, Aaron. Got it, Jack.
And the next pitch is a chopper up the middle. And the shortstop's going to get it, throw it to first. Aaron is out, but we do move the runner over to third. So 2 down, a runner at third. And Jack will step in. So maybe not exactly the shot we wanted there, but an effective out. Moves the runner over into scoring position. In the event of a pass ball, for example, Mason would score. We wouldn't have that out at second. Jack now with 2 downs, got to put the ball into the outfield safely. The ball needs to touch grass because they've got a turf infield. And he swings and misses at a ball that was roughly 3 feet outside. And even with a giant sequoia, would have never hit that ball. So we have a turf infield. There's no dirt. But we do have an all-grass outfield. So if this ball were to touch grass, we would certainly get a run. And Jack hits that ball up and off his stomach, I think. Or maybe a thigh, or potentially a space in between. Regardless, It doesn't feel good. And he's going to walk it off a little bit. Coach Hunter come down to check in on him. Coach Gooch from first base asking how he's doing. And it looks like even Coach Paul is going to come out. Oh, he's grabbing his left knee. You hate to see that as a pitcher, a left-handed pitcher. He's got to push with that left foot and left leg, and if his knee is hurt, he's going to feel a twinge every time he throws. He won't be as effective. And he was darn effective yesterday in the 3 innings that he pitched. Jack now with a 2-strike count. Jack of old will be swinging at this next pitch regardless. Let's see what we get. And he hits one right to the shortstop. Who's going to gather it up, throw it to first, a little offline, but nonetheless an out. So 3rd out of the inning. Jackrabbits are able to come back and tie the game on a 1-out single from Mason to score Jorge from second. Going to go back to muting because we got the music on, and we will see you here as we go to the top of the 3rd. This should be Chris's final inning on the mound, and I'll see if I can see who's warming up in the bullpen. We have real facilities here, ladies and gentlemen, and including proper dugouts with 2 steps down, fences up front for the boys to be on, and then real mounds in the bullpen. So we'll see who sets that up. But for now, I'm going to mute just so we don't run afoul of the YouTube set. And home plate ump calls batter up. Again, we are down to just 1 ump. The Dodge City Open organizers have apologized profusely, but we lost our field ump to a flat tire about an hour away, so we will not see him until tomorrow. I'm joined up here in the broadcast booth. Have I mentioned I'm in the broadcast booth? It's amazing. Great view, no wind. I got power outlets. It's great. I'm joined up here by the conference, or the tournament organizers. Swing and a miss. That was nice. 62 there from Chris. By Miss Taylor, who's running the conference. She's also, her and her friend are running the board out there. I don't know if you can see it, but we have a proper operating scoreboard. And he went for strike 2, which is a real treat. And when we build the Jackrabbits Dream facility, we will have a press box. I will insist upon it, but we will also have a scoreboard because it is great for the kids on the field to know what's going on. And with a note to look for a slider here. And that was exactly what we got. At a 59-mile-an-hour slider breaking away from number 24, who swings and misses for the first out of the inning. So really good work by Chris there. I'm looking down. It looks like maybe Mason is taking the mound in the bullpen. I've got Jabril at first. I've got Ricardo, Jorge, and Gianni across the middle, of course. Isai, of course, behind the plate. Chris on the mound. But in right, I got Emilio. In center, I've got Jack. And in left, I've got Teddy. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Mason out there in the bullpen. So Mason will be our second pitcher of the day. And with a 1 2-0 count. Chris doing a little arm action. Not sure what's going on with the shoulder there. There it is.
Just like that, Chris.
Swing and a miss for strike one. So 2 balls, 1 strike. And there's a ground ball. Jorge, he's going to charge it. Throw to first. Great grab by Jabrell. Ball in the dirt for the second out of the inning. What a stretch and a grab. Good job, Jabrell. Maybe needs to do a little bit more stretching himself there. He's got to kind of grab the twinge of the inside of his thigh. But if he doesn't stretch there, reach out and grab that ball, it's going to short hop him and get past him. So yesterday we had that happen. It wasn't his fault. It was a bad throw. But Jabrell making the defensive correction there to ensure that those short hops don't get past him. Oh, that's going to be annoying if that wind keeps blowing. Now, in steps number 15. He's the leadoff hitter, swinging the high fire. So we have turned the order over. And there's a shot through the right side. And they're going to have him at first. He's safe. Oh, he's off the bag. He was off the bag. So Jabrell broke for that. Couldn't get back to the bag in time. And even though we had a throw in from Emilio that maybe would have got him, Jabrell didn't have his foot on the bag. So the runner's safe. So one of the things you get when you run through the lineup a second time is you've got a second look at the pitcher and what he's done. And so 15 gets on again. So he got on with a hit by pitch, and now he's on with a single through the right side. 32 will step in. Chris comes set. There's a 55-mile-an-hour, I think maybe curveball outside there. And the next pitch will be forthcoming. Runner not taking much of a lead. Now he's going. Oh, he had a running start. And the throw is going to be to the second base side and offline. He's in safely. So runner in scoring position, and 2 down. So Chris just needs to focus on the run on the batter here with a 1-1 count. Oh, a nice slider, but doesn't break in enough. 57 there. So look for the high fastball here. And that's what we got, 61, and fouled away into the yard of the neighbors, who can't love being right up against a ball field like this. There are 7 games happening here today, so that will not be the first. Or that is the first, but will not be the last foul ball in the neighbor's backyard. 2-2 count with 2 down here. Runner on second. Deuce is wild. Chris throws a curveball that did not curve. Hits 32 between the numbers. And he's going to give a free pass. It's number 32. It didn't come in very hard. He bounced off. So we got a second hit by pitch by Chris this game. And we've got, ooh, the ball retrieved. Good job. Good job, everybody. Someone went in the neighbor's yard and got it. Oh, no, we don't think that's the right ball. Ump doesn't like it. He's going to go throw that away. Taylor might have to bring him some new ones. We'll see. He has a whole box down there. Oh, well, no wonder he's just throwing away the retrieved ones. This is like proper baseball, y'all. And there's a shot. Teddy gets it. Teddy grabbed it. Oh, no. Teddy dropped it. Teddy dropped it. Never mind. Darn it. My son, my son, my son. And that scores a run. So E7, unearned run. That should have been Jackrabbits out of the inning. Instead, the Rattlers put their second run on the board. Oh, I thought maybe he could make a play in the field, but clearly I'm hallucinating. I don't know what happened to your scoreboard, but you really messed it up. Look at the scoreboard. It's quite...
Yeah, it's right on there. It doesn't connect.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Nothing to, like, we can't do anything about.
Gotcha. Scoreboard now showing that it's kind of goodish. Yeah. Ball 1. It seems to have lost its Wi-Fi connection. So Chris is going to have to shake that off. And we're going to get 63 mile an hour fastball there that 12 half offered at for a strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike. And there's a ground ball to Jorge. He's going to throw it to his partner at second for the force in the inning, but the Rattlers do not go quietly and put another run on the board. With that, we go 2-1 to the bottom of the third. And I'm going to mute here as the music comes. And with the music off, we're going to have Jabrell up and Joe in the on-deck circle. That means, Chris in the on-deck circle. And there's a pop-up to center. And the center fielder comes down with it for the first out. And Joe's about to bat. I have Chris supposed to. All right, I'm not sure where Chris is in the lineup, but we've got Joe stepping in, and then we'll have Emilio in the on-deck circle. And the next pitch, swing and a miss. Strike 2. Swing and a miss. 61. Joe swings over the top of it for strike 3. Helio will step in now. So Emilio now will be swing and a miss. So it looks like Chris is stepping the on-deck circle. I guess we made a change in the batting order here. Put Chris at the bottom. And the next pitch is way outside. Actually 64, so highest on the gun we've seen all day from number 11. Also the least accurate. Those usually go hand in hand. But the way that number 11's been dealing, why not just air it out every once in a while? Emilio with grip. And a ground ball down third base to Coach Hunter. Foul ball for strike 2. Next pitch is outside. Ball 2. And with a 2-2 count, 2 down, Emilio's got to be looking to swing at anything close here. And he's going to take that 59-mile-an-hour pitch high. It's exactly where catcher called it. I don't know if you can saw the catcher was way up to call for high heat there. But Emilio smart enough to lay off it. And ball 4, Emilio will take first base on a base on balls. So good at bat for Emilio. Get himself down there. So Chris now with a new spot in the order. Chris now with the chance to help himself and get a run back so that he is not on the hook for the loss here. Emilio with a decent sized lead. Does not go. And a back pick. Oh no, I got fooled by 12. Good sell by the catcher there on the back pick. No throw actually. And we have a strike to Chris now. So with Chris there, Ricardo is in the on-deck circle, and that flipped the lineup over for us here if Chris gets on. And there's a throw down. And good job by the first baseman to get a glove on that. Otherwise, it's going to go into right field, and Emilio could probably take second. As such, we have a 2-strike count now. Next pitch is high. So Chris takes his first ball of this at bat. The 1-2 count. And 2 down. Chris needs to punch the ball through the infield here. Get Emilio, who will be running on contact, to over to third. And a foul ball. Chris now getting quite a bit of coaching from Coach Hunter. Steps back in the box. Has the Marucci up and ready. Let's see if he can put some good aluminum on it now. And he swings the ball. It's breaking away at 53 miles an hour. That must have been a curve. And for strike 3, and that ends the Jackrabbits, who go out with a whimper once again. Absolutely no offense from our Jackrabbits since we crossed the Kansas state line. And we go to the top of the 4th. We'll have a new pitcher on the mound. Jackrabbits down 2-1. For the Jackrabbits to go 0-1-1 would be almost certainly a very low seed in the tournament, probably like a 6th seed. And therefore we'd be playing early and often tomorrow. No music is back, so let me just remind you, this is the Dodge City Open 14U AA. USSSA. I did find out that our Kansas Rattlers are from Liberal, Kansas, and that's in the far southwest corner of the state. They're actually closest to Oklahoma, although they do fly the colors for the Royals out of Kansas City. Although I think it'd probably be closer to get them to Denver than it is Kansas City, where the Royals play over there at Kauffman Stadium. But regardless, staying with the home state team. And at least the Royals want to win, unlike the Rockettes out of Denver, who just put a few folks on the field and hope to collect luxury tax payments at the end of the year from owners who actually try to win baseball games. I am wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I am completely wrong. That is Joe on the mound. Joe with his 3/4 delivery, and we'll be back after this warm-up here because I'm worried about the music. So I'll be back to tell you about Joe and his pitching style when we get a batter in the And I'm back, folks. And Ricardo's going to get it. And I'm not sure why no one caught that. Apparently we don't like playing baseball anymore. So, infield hit for the batter on what should have been a very simple out. And Joe is let down by his defense there. Ricardo, that's his ball all day long. Ricardo's got to be catching that ball. Not sure. So, talking about Joe as a pitcher, comes kind of a three-quarter arm angle, kind of slings it, generates most of his speed slinging it. Prototypical reliever here with a two-pitch fastball and changeup. Actually has a gnarly knuckleball, but Isai hates catching it because catching a knuckleball is impossible. It is it's a fool's errand. When they had knuckleballers, there aren't a lot of knuckleballers in the major leagues right now because it's all velo all the time, all fast. But when they did, some of those knuckleballers would have their own special catcher who would only play once every 5 days when the pitcher was pitching, and that ball is fouled down the right field line. Joe's fastball about 62 miles an hour, and changeup about 56. So it's a good difference in speed there. Because he is slinging it rather than coming over the top, he does have a tendency to have a location problem where the ball slings away from, or slides away from the right-handed batters. So you'll see that he often is throwing the ball outside. It does kind of seed the inside corner of the plate to the batters. And like we saw with the first batter, that's going to lead to a lot of balls hit to the right side because there's a lot of balls left out over the middle and far side of the plate to right-handed batters. So Ricardo and Jabrell need to be ready, as well as our right fielder. Swing and a miss. The pitch up in his eyes. We'll take it. That was the 56-mile-an-hour changeup. And next pitch. Fouled off the right side. Again, another shot on the right side. And a key 2-2 pitch here. Joe taking a long look in. Runner at first, a little bit bigger lead. And there's that pitch outside that Joe slings through. Payoff pitch forthcoming. Swing and a miss at a 58. 21 goes down. So what should be 2 up and 2 down gets us 2 up and 1 down, and a runner still on first on the mental error, which will be scored as an infield hit. Number 11 steps in. Sorry, number 1 steps in. Joe looking good out there so far, in and around the zone. All his pitches. There's one right there. That was a 61 fastball with the knees. Again, middle and outside of the plate. So as Joe's going to improve as a pitcher, he's going to have to learn to bring the ball over the inside half of the plate. But for today, it's working. And if it ain't broke, let's not fix it. And there's a simple pop-up. Joe's calling for it. And we're going to get the double up. Oh, no, we're not going to get the double up at first. Oh, my goodness. What on earth? Oh. Errant throw. Jabrell didn't step off to go get it, tried to make the stretch. The ball comes out of his glove. And the runner at first must be a cat because he's got 9 lives. He should have been out twice now. Instead, he's out there still threatening. And the Jackrabbits are going to have to get a 5th out of the inning. And I don't know how we expect to win any ball games if we're giving our opponents 5 outs per inning. So the 2 we've got, plus the pop-up we should have caught, plus the double-up we should have got. And 0 is going to take the first ball outside. And ball 2 to number 0 here is a baker's dozen pitches for Joe on the day. Eastside throwing a lot of pitches back to the pitcher, bouncing them right before the mound. The ball is live when he throws it back, and a runner could be looking to see if he can take an extra 90 feet. That ball gets away. And there's a shot to Gianni, who's going to scoop it up, throw it over to first, and he's going to bounce it over. So we're in the game of just giving outs away. We've got to throw the ball to first base better. We've not had a good throw over there. So that should have been the 5th out of the inning, and now we're going to let 24 hit here. I'm not sure where the defense is. We did have some decent defense earlier, but yeah, apparently the bag of defense is right next to the bucket of offense somewhere in Aurora. And a pop-up to the right side. Jabrell should be able to get underneath it, and he does put it away. But that's 6 outs this inning for the Rattlers. They do not make us pay, but Joe threw a lot more pitches than he needed to end the inning. Still 2-1 Rattlers. Jackrabbits still looking like they're not all that interested in winning a ball game. Coach is just out of screen here, has got them all rallied up, and I don't know if it's going to be a do better or a we got this conversation, but regardless, the boys need to hear them both, because we cannot be 0-1-1. We'll have the top of the lineup up, and it looks like a new pitcher for the Rattlers, number 1. And I'll be back after the music stops. Right, if there's going to be an inning for the Jackrabbits to really do damage, it's going to be this inning as we come up on the 1 hour mark. Reminder, we play 7 innings or 1 hour 45. Yesterday we played 7 innings at just a little over, just at 2 hours, because once the inning starts, you have to complete it. And that first pitch is 59 and outside. Kind of a lot of movement here from number 1 in his windup. It's and Ricardo hits that ball way down the left field line. So he's on him. 59 is definitely a speed in which we can hit. But the question becomes, can Ricardo put it in play? And a 1-1 pitch on its way. It's going to skip past the catcher and go all the way to the backstop. 2-1. Teddy will jump over and grab it. So again, Ricardo, Teddy, and Gianni will be our batters this inning. And a shot to third base through the left side. And Ricardo's on for the second time today. Oh. Eric, first base is like this. Can you move it again? I'm getting this weird shot out of my first base camera. We're not going to have that. So Eric is going to need to go fix that. Shout out, by the way, to Eric, who is been doing our cameras. And of course, if you like the scoreboard, you love Garrett, because Garrett's our fan. And there's a shot over to the right side. Oh, second baseman does a great job of going down to go get it. And they're going to get Teddy by half a step. Ricardo does get to second. So Teddy with all arms swing again, refusing to use his lower body whatsoever to drive the ball. We'll get the productive out, but it's still an out. So tying run at second, and Gianni steps in. Thank you. So I could not put on the production without those key individuals. Swing and a miss. Strike one. And I am so thankful that Garrett and Eric and Adam on occasion are able to step in and help make this work. Ricardo thinks about going but does not go. So again, with that breeze blowing in out of the left field, the center fielder and left fielder are way in. And Johnny will take another ball off the arm. Thankfully, he's got the armor on. That is a historical. He has armor on. Cries of it hit his bat. But it hit his left elbow there pretty clearly where he's got the armor. So, and he's under no obligation to get out of the way. There's not a requirement for the batter to move at all. So, umpire has that conversation with the Rattlers head coach, and we go now to first and second. And the first time we've had any sort of real offensive pressure with Jorge in the box, and that ball's going to be high. And Ricardo is going to go to third, and he'll be in safely. And Gianni trails him out at second. So the boys get over. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Jorge. It's pretty crucial here. Jorge hits the ball to the right side. He will score the tying run with only 1 down. Preferably get the ball in the outfield. And there's a 55-mile-an-hour strike right there. Jorge didn't like that at all. In the on-deck circle, I can see Isai. And that's ball hit to the right side. Ricardo will tag. And that ball drops anyway. And now there might be a play at home. There will not be. The runner the first baseman just runs that. And they get Jorge being greedy. So baseball gods did the right thing there. That should have been probably a pop-up that's caught anyway, and Ricardo scoring. Instead, it was not caught. Jorge gets greedy. The first base or the home plate ump running down to first base and being right on top of that. Jorge is out on the throw. So embarrassing base running from the Jackrabbits, but a tying run in, and Gianni is over at third now. So Isai, who is swinging the hottest bat, put the best aluminum on any swings at this point to date on the weekend, is up. He's, I believe, 1 for 2 or 1 for 3, but put a charge into it every time. And shot down the third base line that coach is going to grab. Now it'll take us to a 1-1 count. And it looks like Mason's in the on-deck circle. Oh! Isai saw the changeup and still he was on it, but just off the tip of the end of the bat. He needed another millisecond longer, and he had to hit that ball through the right side. We need him to really put a good charge into it. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 down. He's going to be swinging at anything close. And he hits that ball right up the middle, and that is going to score Gianni from third. So Isai right now is by far the MVP of this tournament. Great play behind the plate, but also I think the only guy to have 2 hits. So Mason coming out on the field. I'm not sure why. What's happening here? There we go. We're getting a change of bats. Mason did have the unicorn bat. Now he's going to go with the Arctic Fire. So the Jackrabbits are in the lead for the first time today with a 3-2 lead and a runner on first with 2 down. Isai not the swiftest of foot, as is often the plague for catchers. Their knees get all beat up by being bent down like that for hours at a time. So we'll see if they have him go with 2 outs. The catcher is definitely ready. And Mason steps out of the way, otherwise he would have taken a 58-mile-an-hour pitch upside the head. Glad he did. we're a chance of wear it. I think maybe from the family, but everybody else is glad we're not taking any shots off the helmet today. And that ball's a strike, and we have a fake throw down to first. And a 1-1 count now. Aaron in the on-deck circle. And a shot over to third base side. Throw to first. And a great scoop by the first baseman. My goodness. Well played by the first baseman for the third out of the inning. Jackrabbits do put up the lead run. It is now 3-2. We're just at an hour and 5 minutes of baseball, and we're through 4. So assume a lot more baseball ahead of us. But I like being in the lead versus being behind. So go Rabbits. Vamos Liebres. And there's no music yet, so we're having a little powwow. I can't show. Both coaches are choosing to pick the spot I can't show you on the field where they're having conversations with their team. The Jackrabbits are off next weekend, so we will play at least one game tomorrow. We're guaranteed. This is the second of our pool play, and then tomorrow is winner stays, loser goes home. It's a 5.5-hour drive, and I'll bet your bottom dollar that none of these kids want to go home after just one game tomorrow. So could be a late night for us or an early day, but we don't know. But to make up for it, there is no baseball next weekend. So how will you know when your next Jackrabbits game is? Well, you're going to like and this feed. You're going to subscribe to it. There's a subscribe, and then most importantly, there's a little old school bell there. A little old school. I guess yesterday I called it a chuck wagon bell. That's incorrect. Those are triangles. I was corrected. It is an old school tugboat bell that you can see there. When you hit that, what will happen is when we go live, you'll get a push notification on your phone or your TV, and you can tune in. Oh, and now the music has returned, so I'm going to go. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, at the top of the 5th. Jackrabbits up 3-2. And Joe on the mound. So the Jackrabbits in the 4th gave away 6 runs because we're feeling generous apparently, or because we couldn't play defense. We could not afford to do that at all here as we go with a 1-run lead into the 5th inning. And Joe now with 2 pitches and 2 balls to number 30 for the Rattlers. Joe taking a little deep breath there. We've got Jabrell at first while Joe's on the mound. That'll be Jabrell's permanent location. Ricardo, Jorge, and Gianni across the infield. Of course, Isai, our MVP, behind the plate. I think we got Emilio in right, Jack in center, and who's out there? Chris in left, maybe? Swing and a miss on a 3-1. Ooh, I misspoke. Apologies. It was 6 outs last inning. We did not give up 6 runs. It is a very tight game. 6 outs. And that ball is hit right to Jack in center. And sorry, that ball slides over into just behind the shortstop. So the wind really killing those pop flies. Jack comes down with it. So 5 pitches and 1 out for Joe, who is doing his job. I am getting some texts about really applauding Joe doing his job, and I can't agree more. You know, he's at 20 pitches now. He's done everything he needs to do to pitch to contact, make his defense play. When we play our defense, I think we can beat anybody at our age. But when we don't, when stuff like that happens, no one knows what to do. The ball gets overthrown, hits a metal fence back there. Emilio with the backup, and he's going to run into your screen here and toss the ball over to Joe. So an infield hit. I'm not totally sure that we could have done much with that. It went over Joe's head on the turf. That was a turf bounce, and Gianni grabbed as quick as he could, but running down 60 feet is, running down 90 feet is the runner there, number 15. We have a timeout on the field. You can kind of see the ump there. It looks like while he was running down to see the play at first, his shin guards came off. So, or his one shin guard anyway. Folks, I know that the home plate net is getting in the way, and with the nylon netting, there's not a whole lot we can do with the wind that we've got. Later on today, we're going to have 25 to 30 mile an hour winds, so I'm glad we're not there for that. But it's an unfortunate thing. The netting here is pretty high, and we can't really get around it either to get a good shot. So thank you for bearing with us on that. Joe now comes set. Runner's going. You got a huge running lead. We're not even going to try to throw down. So I think that's the second time we've seen that. I think that runner out there at second is still on second twice now because he's got that running lead. That ball's in the dirt, and it's going to go all the way to the backstop. Joe had better cover because that backstop is ginormous. And the runner's down at third now. So the tying run just 90 feet away and only 1 down. Joe with a 2-1 count here has got to focus on the batter. The good news is the runner's not going anywhere as long as Joe hits the strike zone. Isai is going to squeeze that real good. In fact, he could even come from the windup if he wanted. Some claps coming from the Rattlers dugout. And Joe throws that one 59 and outside for ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Joe looking like he's maybe aiming right now versus throwing. So trying to get a little cutesy. Common affliction for many pitchers. You can't afford to do that though. It puts too much thinking and it messes with your delivery. That ball is high for ball 4. And we're going to get a timeout. Isai going out, talk to his pitcher and get him to calm down. Isai's a solid leader on this team. We don't have captains, but if we did, I'll bet your bottom dollar he'd get a captain vote or 12 from his teammates. And with number 10 in now, he's 1 for 2 on the day. Runners at first and third. Joe's got to focus on getting the out here. He can't worry too much about the runner. Throw the ball hard and let Isai throw it down if he wants. There's a strike. And we'll let the runner take second on defensive indifference. So the tying run 90 feet away, the go-ahead run out at second. A ball through the infield, and the Jackrabbits are going to be in trouble. Remember, it's turf, so the ball moves quickly through the infield, then hits the grass and slows down. And there's a shot off of Joe's glove. Ricardo's going to pick it up and throw it to first, barely. but because apparently we can't throw the ball hard to first anymore. And we get the out. The run does score, and ladies and gentlemen, we are back to a tie game. The runner on second obviously advances to third. And we've got 2 down. Number 12 will step in. Pretty crucial here that Joe gets number 12. Some barking from the Rattlers dugout in addition to clapping. That's what you're picking up on the microphone. If you're wondering, we do not have any canines in the facility. There's a whole list of things you can't bring in, including dogs, sunflower seeds, and tobacco products. And that ball is hit over Chris's head, and that will score 1, and it will go near to the fence. We're gonna get the ball in, and we'll see if we have a play at third. And we're gonna have a runner caught in a pickle, and they got him. So runner got a little greedy to get a triple to left field, but you know what? He did his job. He gets the single, or well, gets a double. We've thrown out going to third, and that puts the Rattlers back up. So the seesaw continues. Rattlers 4, Jackrabbits 3. As we go to the bottom of the 5th, ladies and gentlemen, I honestly have no idea how this thing is going to end up. We are 1 hour, 15 minutes in, so 30 more minutes of this ball game. And we do, under USSSA, have to complete any innings started prior to 1 hour 45. So at this rate, it looks like we will go 6 innings. As you can see on your screen right now, we've who we got up next? We got Aaron up next. Aaron will be followed by Jack and Jabrell. And during the game, in the lower right-hand corner, we have our sponsors. That we can't do the travel that we do and do the tournaments we do without our sponsors. So big shout out there. Please take a look if you need gutters or siding or financial help or electrical work or financial advice. Take a look at those businesses, give them a call, ask to talk to them about their goods and services, get a bid on your project, and thank them profusely for being Jackrabbits sponsors. And I sense music. And we're back. Aaron with the blue Arctic fire in his arms. And he swings at a 54-mile-an-hour pitch for strike 1. Next pitch. Swing at a ball off the dirt, 56 as well. Aaron now 0-2. So Aaron just getting some swings after throwing his shoulder out, quite literally throwing his shoulder out throws from right field. And he's going to take that 55-mile-an-hour pitch high and away. So, you know, he was benched, I think it was for 2 or 3 weeks. And then he is just now back. He's only available as a hitter. He can't throw for at least another month, I believe, while that shoulder gets healed. And there's a ground ball over to the third baseman. He scoops it up. He's going to throw it to first. And the first baseman, oh, my first base camera messed up again. Yeah. And we'll get Eric to fix that camera again. We'll figure out tomorrow if we need, I don't know, sandbags against the wind or what here. But I don't think anybody's moving. I think it's literally the wind just moving that camera. Regardless, 1 up, 1 down. Jack's in. And that first pitch is 55 and outside.
Jack, stay out here.
So with Jack up, we're going to have Jabrell in the on-deck circle, and then Joe. And ball is high and inside.
Sorry, right here. Oh, there.
3-0 now. So Jack will be taken all the way here. Let's see if he can draw a walk. He's showing bunt. And that is a beautiful 60-mile-an-hour pitch right on the outside corner. Well, Jack did what he was supposed to do. Pitcher did what he was supposed to do. And we are still going to send Jack down to first. So Jack now, who loves to steal. Let's see if he's got the steal sign on. Jabrell tapping his helmet, letting Coach Hunter know that he knows what the sign is and what they're doing here. That ball's high. And we have a fake throw down to first again, and Jack back in safely, although there was no throw, so Jack just sliding back in. Jabrell looking down his hands there. I'm not sure if, oh, that's why. Are we going the bunt? Whoa, that ball goes all the way backstop. And Jabrell did more than his job there. He's going to take ball 2, and we got a free base out of that. So good job by Jabrell and Jack on that combo. So tying run now is just a single away. And that ball is high and away, 52. And we finally hearing some life out of the dugout. I don't know if you guys can pick that up, but I'm hearing some boys clap and shout for their teammates here. And a 3-0, we're going to take that all the way, and that's going to go to the backstop. There will not be a play at third. Ball hit the backstop, but then bounced straight up. And then Jabrell is going to take second on a real good heads-up play. So tying run 90 feet away. Go ahead run at second, and we got a timeout from the coach there. So great heads up play. I don't know if Jabrell saw that or if that was a call from Coach Nick down at first. Regardless, big opportunity for the Jackrabbits with only 1 out. And Joe will step in. Is that right? Joe's in? Yep, Joe's in because he's down the first base line talking to Coach Hunter. This is where the rubber hits the road for the Jackrabbits. Chance to show that they're a team that's played almost 20 games on the season and seen this situation before, unlike the Rattlers, who are in their first competitive game of the season. So, going to be on the bottom of the order here. Jack. Sorry, not Jack. Joe. Well, hold on. Joe steps in now. And comes set. And Joe's going to duck out of the way of that one. Ball 1.
Track it. When it's there, you take a cut, kid. Don't help him out.
And a foul ball straight back to the net on a 53-mile-an-hour pitch. So number 1 took a little off that one, looking for, I think, a little bit more accuracy. Pretty common to slow it down and throw the pitch where you want it. So Joe tuned up on that one, just swung underneath it a little bit. And there's a 55-mile-an-hour pitch on the outside. And that's a pitch he's been given all day. It's about a ball width off the plate. But again, consistent to everybody. So Jackrabbits need to know that and do something with it, or just spit on it, let it pass. With 1 ball, 2 strikes now, Joe's got to be swinging at something that's close. Swing and a miss. A ball. Strike three. That ball gets away. We have absolute chaos, ladies and gentlemen. Jack is in safely. Joe is going to go to second, and Jabril is going to be a third. So on a strikeout, wild pitch, we get a two-base error for Joe, and Jabril down at third. So in steps Emilio with Chris getting in the on-deck circle. So we have tied the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got the go-ahead run just 90 feet away. Emilio swings. Oh, he was way early on that one on the inside off the hands. But I like to see that swing in the Arctic Fire. Hopefully there's a few hits in that. Now, Jabril's got to be smart. A ground ball to third base with only one out. We don't need him to get... We have 2 strikes. We have 1 run in this inning. There we go. Yep. Scoreboard's messing up here at the field, but we got the right count and the right score in the field and on YouTube. Emilio ducks out of the way, and there was a chorus of "Wear That" from about half a dozen dads in the audience. Easy for them to say. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Emilio. Gets his hands set on the bat, grips it tight. And he's going to take strike 3 on the outside corner there for Emilio. So catcher thought that was strike 3. He lackadaisically throws the ball back to the pitcher. Thankfully, everybody else knew that was just 2 outs and does no damage to the Rattlers. I want the Jackrabbits to earn their runs, not get them on silly mistakes like that. So Chris steps in now. That'll put Ricardo on the top of the order in the on-deck circle. So 4-4 is the score. Jackrabbits with 2 runners in scoring position if the ball hits the grass. But we've got to get a ball through the infield here, which has been, except for maybe Isai, nigh on impossible. That ball's going to get away. What a catch by the catcher. That ball is to the backstop and maybe squirting all the way down the third base line. It was behind Chris so badly. But instead, it's in his mitt, and we just have a simple ball. That ball's high. Ball 3. So Chris will be taken here. And Chris just inches out of the way on ball 4. So bases loaded now for the Jackrabbits. Our best shot all tournament to really blow a game wide open. And Ricardo in. So best hitting pitcher or batter on the team is up. But we're going to get timeout and a second visit of the inning. So we'll have a new pitcher for the Rattlers. And let's see. It looks like the catcher is getting rid of the armor there, and he will be the pitcher, number 11. And oh my goodness, and they're switching, and number 1 will become the catcher. Well, ain't that a fun little switch up there? I've not seen that before, but battery mates will be battery mates, just in new spots. And we will mute here for a little bit while they warm up, because I'm sure we'll get some music. That ball is hit straight back, foul ball. So Ricardo swinging away on the first pitch from number 12. So with 2 outs, Jackrabbits will need to get a ball into the outfield, reach the base safely. And the ball is to the backstop, and Jabril did not get a good read. Ricardo did not tell him to wave him in, so we just left the go-ahead run on third base right there. Hopefully we get another chance here. And Ricardo can do something with the next pitch on a 1-1 count. Pitcher is set. Swing and a miss, and that ball pops out of the catcher's glove. In the event of a drop third strike, but first base being occupied, Ricardo would be immediately out. So we can't rely on anything like that to help us here. Strike 3 on a curveball to Ricardo, who bailed out on a 51-mile-an-hour pitch. Beautiful job by number 12 to come in and do exactly what he needed to do on the mound. Jackrabbits leave the bases loaded, do not get the go-ahead run across, and tied the game up. We go to the 6th, and what will probably be the final inning at 1:33. We'll see if we end up tying both games and decide that we just never want to win ever again. With that, we'll see if Joe's back on the mound, which I suspect, and we'll go through our defensive lineups here in just a second. Why is Jack's grabbing the ball? Maybe is Jack going to finish the game out, or is he just holding the ball until we get a pitcher out there? Let's see what we get. Well, Jack looking very much like he's going to pitch. Talking to Jorge out there. Definitely going to be Jack to close us out. We're going to get 1 inning for Jack today. Isai will be his catcher. Of course, Joe at first, Ricardo at second, Jorge at short, and Gianni at third. Mason in left, Chris in center with Jack on the mound, and Emilio in right. So if we go to the final inning here, probably no more than about 20 or 25 minutes left in the game. Jackrabbits are the first of 7 games on this field, so we won't know until much later today, probably 8 or 8:30 Central Time, what our seed is. If we go down 0-0 and 2, I honestly have no idea. We'll be probably 6 or 7 seed, depending on if if any teams go 0 and 2, but not a great place for us to be. We need to come back and win this thing. And the ball's thrown down, and we'll see our first batter here, number 11 for the Rattlers.
Go, Jack.
Rattlers had a long drive. It's about 1:45. They were here an hour before the game, of course, so they were leaving their homes just north of the Oklahoma state line about 6 or 6:15 this morning. So there's no excuse why our boys should look more tired than them, because I know that in my room, my boy didn't wake up until 7:15. Rattlers were already on the road for an hour. I did, however, say, there may be a reason that Isai is our MVP. You know what he had for breakfast? A banana and yogurt. You know what I saw other boys eating? Fruit Loops, including my own, and waffles. So Isai fueling his body, and you're seeing a difference of performance on the field. We get a foul ball off the batter's leg for strike 2. So Jack with an 0-2 count now. And strike 3 on a 55-mile-an-hour pitch. So 3 pitches, 1 down for Jack, who is absolutely, absolutely in a zone with his pitching lately. Remember, he started the year in a rough spot. Not sure when he turned or how he turned the corner, but he has been virtually unhittable his last 6 or so outings. And there it is. The 4th pitch of the inning is a 4th strike of the inning. There's a ground ball over to Jorge, who's going to scoop it up like a vacuum cleaner, and he's going to throw it to Joe. I don't know if you saw that, ladies and gentlemen. It was a throw. It hit Joe right in the chest. It wasn't trying to short hop it. They weren't trying to airmail it. That ball hit Joe exactly where it should have been. Apparently, we understood how to throw a ball to first base here sometime between the 5th and 6th innings. So 2 up, 2 down for the Rattlers. And the Jackrabbits now looking like they're starting to play ball after ceding 5 innings of blah to the Rattlers. Next pitch. Jack with his, I believe, 8th pitch of the inning. All of them strikes. He's a lefty. He throws strikes. By the time he gets to high school, he'll be in the mid-80s. Ladies and gentlemen, someone find a scout for this boy. Oh, that pitch has been a strike all day. It is ball 1. Next pitch. That ball's in the dirt. So after a string of what I think were 9 straight strikes, Jack's thrown 2 balls here. Not to worry. Sorry, everybody. I forgot to move the camera back to home. You haven't missed much. It's now a 3-1 count. And the next pitch is swing and a miss. 55 mile an hour. So Jack took a little something off that. Even Isai improving his throws back to the pitcher here. It's a shame we had to spot an hour and 37 minutes of baseball before we started to play normal Jackrabbits baseball. But once you see us playing normal Jackrabbits baseball, we can beat anyone in our age group. Payoff pitch here. Jack with the delay. Coming fastball. And a shot right to Joe. He grabs it. 3 up, 3 down. Jack comes in and saves the day. It is a 5 minutes left on the clock. This will be it for the bottom of the 6th, ladies and gentlemen. Jackrabbits will either score the winning run or we will have our second tie of the weekend, in which case, honestly, I'm going to go home and take a nap if that happens. So that's, we shall see. Teddy will lead off. I understand that the lineup may be off on the screen. I'm going to go talk to Garrett and make sure we've got the right kids up when the right kids are up. So number, what is that, 13, 12? For the Rattlers, just taking some nice, easy throws to his step-in, a fill-in catcher while the catcher puts his gear on. So And Teddy will step in to lead off the inning. Teddy, all arms, no hips. He hits that ball high. He actually did have hips on that one, so I owe it to him. And the shortstop comes down with it. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Ladies and gentlemen, if we don't last another 3 minutes, we'll have to go to 7th innings. I don't think Coach wants that at all. So we may see the Jackrabbits doing a little bit of taking some pitches here just to make sure we don't go into another inning and use another inning of Jack's arm. So Gianni steps in with Jorge in the on-deck circle. That ball's low and away. Ball 1. So let's see if the Jacks can walk it off here with Gianni, maybe getting us going, getting on. Maybe a leadoff double would be nice. Love to see him do that. Here's the next pitch. And we're going to get a little squibber. Oh, I forgot. And a great play by the third baseman where I was on the wrong camera. Sorry. Damn it. So anyway, good play by the third baseman there to get the catch. And we got 2 down, tie game. Never seen anything like this, ladies and gentlemen. Just 2 tie games in a weekend. Jorge needs to make this at-bat last at least 2 minutes, or we'll have a whole nother inning. Beautiful strike. Curve there, 52 miles an hour from 12. And there's a shot through the right side. Ladies and gentlemen, we get a real hit from the Jackrabbits. Beautiful stroke from Jorge, who hopefully will just grab his spot there at first and not get too fancy. And Jorge now will be at first with Isai, the only boy who seems to be hitting well, up to bat. I like it, I like it. So Isai stretching out a little bit, and now we'll see him come in. Throw over, ball gets away. We're going to get a free extra base out of that. Maybe 2. Let's see. We got him stopped at second because the right fielder picks that ball up. Good backup by the right fielder of the Rattlers. And he's going to keep Jorge to just 90 feet. But with that, we now have the winning run just a single away. And if anybody is going to see, everybody's going to get a single today, it's going to be Isai, because Jorge is absolutely running. He's got the baseball intelligence to know to run on 2 outs. Coach is going to be sending him. And that ball is hit down the third base line and just foul. Thank goodness, because the third baseman was all over that. We saw his wonderful acrobatic catch there for the second out of the inning on Gianni. Don't want to see that happen again if you're a Jackrabbits fan. Pitcher set, big hole on the right side for Isai if he can punch it through over there. And he's going to take that 59 mile an hour pitch high. Ball 1. So it's going to be a walk-off or an out right here. That's how it's going to go. And we get a foul ball for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Ladies and gentlemen, I can't load the information for the 14U USSSA Dodge City Open website, so I don't know when we'll play tomorrow or what the other rankings look like at this point. That ball is high, and that came in really slow at 49. Number 12 started to shake his arm immediately afterwards. Hopefully he's not injured. Hopefully that was just a weird fluke. But low velocity and shaking the arm, that's not a good sign from a pitcher. It's a 2-2 count now. And we get a pop-up third base side. It's going to be dropped in foul territory. Woo! Jackrabbits get to live to have another at bat. Woo-hoo-hoo! Ah, man, my heart was beating. You just cleared the 2-2 count on the board. Oh. All right. I'm trying to keep all the scoreboards, the YouTube scoreboards and the on-field scoreboard in the right spot. And there's a ground ball to third. It's a funny, and we get a tag of Jorge for the third out of the inning. Ladies and gentlemen, we tied. Well, I don't know if the Jackrabbits suddenly became a European soccer team, but there it is, game, set, match. We're 0-2 on the weekend, and you can tell I'm not very happy, but you know what? The weekend playing baseball, my other option would be home doing yard work. Well, I don't do yard work, but other doing chores, so what am I saying? Anyway, congrats to the Rattlers on a well-fought game of their first competitive game of the season. Jackrabbits go 0-2 for the weekend, and we will be a pretty low seed, probably a pretty early start tomorrow. And with that, on behalf of Jackrabbits Broadcasting, vamos Liebres, we will see you back here tomorrow.